week and sent around a life insurance policy of sorts, a package rather, to people that I trust, a package filled with text messages, emails, private communications, videos, and private legal documents. So if anything happens to me, you guys will know exactly who it is that has been making my life a living hell over the past couple of years. People that are trying to bankrupt me, trying to bankrupt me and my family, that are threatening us to sue us.
Erika Kirk has officially had enough, and she's not holding back anymore. She's finally firing back at Candace Owens again. This time she's hitting hard. Word on the street is that Erika just dropped major receipts that might leave Candace speechless. For weeks, Candace has been stirring things up online, diving deep into wild theories ever since Charlie's passing. She's been suggesting there's some massive cover-up going on, even dropping hints that Erika herself and certain officials were somehow part of it. But guess what? Erika's silence just ended, and she's coming with proof in hand. Medical documents, receipts, and evidence she claims will set the record straight once and for all. This drama is heating up fast, and people everywhere are watching closely. Honestly, anyone paying attention could see this coming from miles away. Fans had already been whispering that Candace was taking things way too far, turning grief into chaos and sounding more like an ex-friend gone rogue than someone genuinely searching for answers. Through it all, Erika stayed quiet, refusing to engage or fuel the noise. But after Candace's latest online meltdown, that silence shattered. Now Erika's got plenty to say. And it's not just talk, it's documentation, screenshots, and receipts ready to shake the whole situation. Things reached a boiling point when Candace posted a shocking message on X claiming she had solid proof that France's president Emmanuel M. and his wife Brigitte had supposedly arranged something terrible against her. She even wrote that a high-ranking source from the French government reached out to warn her, insisting that powerful people were after her. The internet exploded instantly. Some fans were worried, others rolled their eyes, and a lot of people just couldn't believe what they were reading.
People have been spreading nasty rumors and saying some very crazy and outlandish things. This is mental illness, schizophrenia at play, and you should ignore them.
Now, with Erika stepping into the ring armed with evidence and ready to defend her name, this feud just went from messy to explosive. And trust me, it's only getting started. Things only got wilder from there because Candace didn't stop at just one shocking post. She kept going. She claimed she'd been told there was even an Israeli agent on some kind of secret squad, saying plans were already set in motion. Then, as always, she managed to loop Charlie Kirk into the mix, and this time she took it to another level. Candace went on to say that the same source told her Charlie's supposed attacker had trained with France's elite 13th Brigade, hinting at a massive international connection. According to her, a journalist named Xavier Broussard was also in danger and might be next. She insisted this was deadly serious, even claiming that the president of France had allegedly authorized professional units to take her out. In her post, Candace said she didn't know who to trust in the American government anymore, claiming that even U.S. officials were aware of this alleged plot. She then brought up an older tweet from exactly 1 year before Charlie's passing, where she wrote that Americans are being targeted on U.S. soil, and suggested agencies knew about it but stayed silent. Naturally, the internet went into a frenzy. People were stunned, confused, and split right down the middle. Some believed her, while others felt she had completely crossed into dangerous territory. And when the Macrons' names got pulled into it again, it reignited a feud that had already been burning for years. See, Candace has been openly feuding with France's First Lady, Brigitte Macron, for a while now. She's been loudly claiming to have proof that Brigitte was not who she said she was.
Candace is unhinged. Brigitte Macron won for defamation. Well, that's no longer a thing. Because guess what? The journalist that she went after, two of them, they beat Brigitte.
Reviving an old French tabloid rumor that claimed Brigitte was originally someone named Jean-Michel C. Candace acted like she had stumbled onto a massive global secret. But French media had long labeled the rumor as completely false. Still, she wouldn't let it go. By spring 2025, things escalated even more. Candace went from spreading gossip online to launching what she called a truth crusade. And that's when the Macrons had enough. In July 2025, they hit back hard with a defamation lawsuit filed in Delaware. The case included claims of false identity accusations and spreading harmful conspiracy content. Most people would have paused right there, but not Candace. The same day that lawsuit dropped, she jumped on her podcast and doubled down. She treated it like another PR opportunity, saying her critics owed her an apology for doubting her claims. And just when you thought she'd stop, she didn't. On that same podcast episode, she insisted she had strong evidence, saying there were no old wedding photos or records proving Brigitte's early life before marrying Emmanuel. Listeners couldn't believe their ears. The clip went viral instantly, and even fans who once supported her started saying she might have finally gone too far. At this point, things have gone completely off the rails. Candace isn't backing down. She's actually doubling down in a way that's leaving everyone stunned. She's now claiming that instead of letting their legal case play out in court, the Macrons are supposedly trying to silence her for good, and she says they're doing it with the help of an Israeli operative and even approval from inside the US government. Yes, you heard that right. According to her, there's a global plot to get rid of a podcaster, and somehow multiple nations are involved. It sounds straight out of a thriller movie, but Candace is insisting it's all real.
Medical exam at this moment, just some photographic evidence that you existed for the first 30 years of your life. That would be great. Maybe wedding photos. I assume you took tons of wedding photos. Can we see who the maid of honor was? Just proof that it was you. I feel like we're not asking for a lot. How about school photos?
But she didn't stop there. In an even more shocking twist, Candace started posting about Brigitte Macron's family history, suggesting that Brigitte's relatives had dark secrets tied to Germany's past. She wrote that she'd begun to wonder if Brigitte's lineage might be German, connecting that to old post-war rumors about Operation Paperclip, the classified program that brought former scientists from Europe into U.S. government work after World War II. Candace went on to claim that this could mean Brigitte's family were once tied to those scientists, and that this connection was supposedly a deep state secret worth protecting. It was a massive accusation, one that caused an instant uproar online. People flooded the comments section with disbelief. One person wrote, "Imagine thinking the president of France is running a top secret operation against a talk show host while managing a country. This sounds like a movie." Another added, "France, Israel, and the US all working together for this? Come on, this is your 80 wild theory. You're bound to get one right eventually." The internet couldn't decide whether to laugh or be concerned, but instead of stepping back, Candace fired off yet another post, saying she'd been told that payments for the operation were being handled through a private banking desk in France, and that one line sent everyone spiraling. Threads popped up across Reddit, TikTok, and X, with people dissecting her every word. Some thought she might be onto something, while others said she'd gone way too far into fantasy land. Either way, one thing was clear. This saga had gone from controversial to completely unbelievable in record time. By the time Candace posted that last shocking claim about secret payments in France, the internet had completely erupted. Every social platform was flooded with theories, memes, and breakdown videos. People were dissecting every screenshot, every tweet, and every phrase like it was part of a global mystery. But while the world was laughing, side-eyeing, or just plain confused,
There is no way we are going to this event now. There's a 0% chance. First and foremost, why are you saying anybody can go to it? You just buy a ticket to the event, and you're all working to try to get me to confirm that I'm going. And you're doing this as if you're trying to push my buttons and be like, we got to make her get into her ego so she shows up and posts it on social media. Nope, actually, while I'm attacking the feds, maybe not going to a public event, which the feds are organizing, is probably a very good idea. I'm good. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna listen to Power on my headphones and go see Ye. How's that for a memorial for Charlie Kirk? That feels like the right thing for me to do right now.
Erika Kirk was quietly watching everything unfold and planning her next move. You see, up until this point, Erika had refused to engage. She'd stayed completely silent while Candace turned social media into her personal courtroom. But when Candace started throwing Charlie's name into wild international plots and even bringing up government agencies, that crossed a line for Erika. Those close to her say that was the exact moment she decided enough was enough. Erika allegedly reached out to her legal team and media advisors, determined to shut down what she saw as dangerous lies once and for all. And when she finally responded, she didn't just drop a few words. She came in swinging with hard evidence and official documents to back up her side. Her statement came late one night through a verified source close to the family. It included screenshots of messages, copies of medical records, and communications between medical professionals that painted a very different picture than the one Candace had been pushing. The documents suggested that Charlie's passing had already been fully investigated and cleared by multiple agencies, with nothing remotely pointing to foul play. And that wasn't all. Erika also shared what she called misinformation alerts, pointing out how Candace's claims didn't match official timelines or reports. She listed specific moments where Candace's posts contradicted proven facts, like the date certain files were released or when certain people were actually interviewed. Each mismatch made Candace's story look shakier by the minute. By the following morning, hashtags like hashtag Candace versus Erika and hashtag receipts don't lie were trending everywhere. Fans who had previously defended Candace started demanding answers. Screenshots of her old posts were being compared to Erika's receipts side by side, and people were noticing how much didn't add up. The shift in energy online was instant and brutal. Comment sections filled with messages like
full control. I would hope she's in full control, but I don't know because I'm hearing some stories about donors that are pushing things. I'm hearing about the pressure that's even happening with plans.
If Erika's showing documents, Candace better come with more than tweets. And this just got real. Erika didn't talk for months and now she's got paperwork? The drama had officially exploded into a full-blown online war and everyone had something to say about it. Even major commentary channels jumped in. Some creators started analyzing Candace's body language in her recent interviews, saying she looked nervous and defensive. Others pointed out how her story kept changing slightly each time she told it, a sign they claimed that she was starting to lose control of her narrative. Meanwhile, Erika's approach was calm, methodical, and precise. She wasn't ranting on live streams or writing long emotional posts. She just dropped the evidence and let the public connect the dots. That quiet confidence made her look even more credible to many watchers. But as expected, Candace fired back again. Within hours, she posted a long thread saying that Erika's so-called proof was manipulated and part of what she called a coordinated cleanup operation. She claimed that powerful people were trying to silence her, calling it a smear campaign designed to discredit her before she could tell the full truth. And as always, Candace's supporters rushed to defend her, creating their own hashtags like hashtag #StandWithCandace and hashtag #TruthWillWin. They argued that Erika's release was timed too perfectly and that certain pages in the documents looked too polished to be genuine. Others said this was exactly what happens when someone gets too close to exposing something bigger than themselves. But here's where things took another unexpected turn. A clip began circulating from a recent podcast episode featuring two former Turning Point insiders. The host didn't mention names directly, but the hints were clear. They talked about how someone close to Charlie had been gathering evidence quietly for months, waiting for the right time to speak out. They described Erika as being patient but strategic.
I went ahead this week and sent around a life insurance policy of sorts, a package rather, to people that I trust, a package filled with text messages, emails, private communications, videos, and private legal documents. So if anything happens to me, you guys will know exactly who it is that has been making my life a living hell over the past couple of years. People that are trying to bankrupt me, trying to bankrupt me and my family, that are threatening us to sue us.
Focused on protecting her husband's legacy rather than playing social media games. That revelation reignited interest instantly. People began wondering if Erika had been sitting on key evidence this whole time, watching, waiting, and preparing for this exact moment. Then, just when everyone thought it couldn't get any messier, an anonymous whistleblower account dropped a new thread claiming to have proof that certain screenshots Candace posted weeks earlier were edited before she made them public. The post included metadata breakdowns, timestamps, and file logs that allegedly showed inconsistencies in the image's creation dates. The internet went wild once again. Some said it was fake, others said it was the smoking gun. But one thing was undeniable. The credibility gap between Candace and Erika was widening fast. By day 3 of the feud, news outlets started picking up the story. Headlines read things like Erika Kirk strikes back with receipts and Candace Owens claims under fire after document dump. TV commentators were suddenly dissecting social media drama like it was national news. It had become a cultural moment. A mix of scandal, celebrity, and politics all rolled into one explosive saga. Behind the scenes, sources close to both women hinted that lawyers were already involved, with potential defamation suits being discussed. One insider claimed that Erika wanted to avoid dragging things through court, preferring to clear her name publicly and move on, but others said she was furious and considering taking serious legal action if the false claims continued. Meanwhile, fans of Charlie Kirk were torn. Many still admired both women, but admitted that Candace's latest posts felt too extreme. Some said she had crossed a line by using Charlie's name in theories that had no proof. Others begged both sides to stop and let the family heal in peace. But that calm wasn't coming anytime soon because neither Erika nor Candace seemed ready to back down. Then came another plot twist. A reporter from a major US outlet claimed they had verified some of the documents Erika released, and they checked out as legitimate. That report changed everything. It forced people to reevaluate the entire situation. Suddenly, Erika's calm, factual approach looked smarter than ever, and Candace's conspiracy-driven rants started losing credibility fast. After that, Erika made a rare public appearance at a charity event in Los Angeles. Cameras caught her smiling, calm, and graceful, a total contrast to the chaos happening online. When asked by reporters about the ongoing drama, she simply said, "I believe truth doesn't need to shout, it just needs time." That one sentence instantly went viral and was quoted thousands of times across social platforms. Fans praised her composure, calling her Grace under fire. Meanwhile, Candace's team reportedly tried to arrange a tell-all interview to explain her side, but by then, public opinion was shifting hard. Even some of her longtime followers admitted it was time to step back from the conspiracies. By the end of the week, the story had become bigger than anyone expected. What began as wild online speculation had turned into a public test of credibility, patience, and proof. Erika Kirk stood her ground with documents, dignity, and quiet strength, while Candace Owens faced growing doubts and calls for accountability. And now, with reporters digging deeper and insiders whispering that more evidence could still come out, everyone's asking the same question. Will this feud finally end, or is the most explosive chapter still ahead? Because if the last few days have shown anything, it's that this story is far from over. And the truth? It's about to get even louder. By this point, things had reached a whole new level of chaos online. Candace wasn't slowing down. In fact, she was turning up the heat even more. In her latest round of posts, she claimed there was now an actual paper trail linking powerful people to a supposed operation against her. She wrote that she was encouraging the patriots of France to dig it all up and expose it to the world. And then she doubled down once again, insisting that not only was there a French female agent involved, but also a male Israeli operative allegedly selected to take her out. When the French government didn't respond publicly to her accusations, Candace fired off another post that only made the situation more explosive. She said there would be no official response from the Élysée Palace because everything she'd shared was true. She even went as far as to claim she had names and evidence to back it all up, saying the French were now scrambling to figure out how the so-called leak happened. The internet completely lost it. Within hours, Darta Candace leaks and our French assassin were trending. Some users were joking about it, others were genuinely worried, but most people were just stunned at how far she was willing to go. Commentators began calling it the most unpredictable social media spiral of the year. But behind all the chaos, one person's patience had finally run out: Erika Kirk's. Erika had stayed quiet through the first waves of drama, but seeing Charlie's name dragged back into these new claims was her final breaking point. Because let's be honest, Candace wasn't just accusing random governments anymore. She was once again linking her wild theories to Charlie's passing, and for Erika, that was unforgivable. Sources close to her say that when Candace began calling Charlie's case a federal conspiracy, that's when Erika decided she couldn't stay silent any longer. Candace had written, "I've been going through this timeline and now fully believe this was a federal setup. They're lying about what happened to Charlie Kirk." That line alone was enough to make the internet explode all over again. Fans were reposting her thread with captions like, "She's gone too far," and "Why does she keep saying she has proof but never shows it?" But it didn't stop there. Candace then followed up with an even more alarming claim, saying there was a cover-up happening at the highest levels. She accused federal agents of taking over the case from local police to control the narrative. In one of her posts, she wrote that if the authorities had really wanted to catch the person responsible, they would have released all surveillance footage immediately, and the internet would have solved it in minutes. According to her, the desire was never there. Then, when law enforcement finally did make an arrest, Candace instantly jumped back online to say the suspect, a man named Tyler Robinson, didn't act alone. She tweeted that more people were involved and even tied it to online underground networks, saying that certain incidents were linked through digital chat rooms. It was a bizarre mix of accusation and speculation that only made things murkier. The comment section went wild. Some people were demanding receipts, others begged her to stop posting for her own safety, and a growing number of followers started calling her theories movie plot level fiction. Still, she wasn't done. Candace then tried to explain her absence from Charlie Kirk's funeral by claiming she'd been warned not to attend as that she had intel someone there might try to harm her. The moment she said that, everything shifted again. People started side-eyeing Erika, trying to piece together what Candace was implying. The situation went from confusing to downright toxic overnight. And that's when the online crowd turned brutal. Threads started popping up everywhere with captions like, "So Candace thinks Charlie's own wife was part of it? And this is getting ridiculous. Why drag Erika into this mess?" One viral comment said, "It's actually shocking that nobody's talking about how his wife never mentioned Candace once after everything that happened. Doesn't that seem strange?" That comment alone fueled thousands of replies, memes, and messy debates. Suddenly, everyone was analyzing every public interaction between Erika and Candace from the past few years, old event clips, photos, podcast episodes, anything that could hint at what went wrong between them. Some fans even pointed out that Erika hadn't tagged Candace in months, not even when she'd made posts honoring Charlie, and that silence became its own storm. The lack of acknowledgement was now being treated like proof of bad blood. People online started spinning their own mini-theories, saying maybe Erika was done pretending, and that this was her way of showing she no longer trusted Candace. Others, however, defended her fiercely, saying she was grieving privately and didn't owe anyone public statements. Either way, Candace's claims had now crossed into dangerous territory. It wasn't just about her anymore. She was dragging Erika, federal agencies, and even foreign governments into a narrative that no one could verify. Meanwhile, Erika's camp began preparing to respond. Insiders say she was furious but trying to stay composed, gathering everything she could to clear her name once and for all. She allegedly told friends that Candace's words were reckless and deeply disrespectful to Charlie's memory. And honestly, who could blame her? Candace had turned one of the most painful moments of Erika's life into a constant stream of online theories, bringing up the FBI, secret agents, and supposed government operations every other week. Fans who had once sympathized with Candace were now switching sides fast, saying she had gone way too far. Then, just as the drama hit peak tension, screenshots began circulating showing old text exchanges that appeared to show Candace trying to reach Erika right after the tragedy. Messages that, according to the timestamps, were never answered. People started speculating that Erika had cut off contact with Candace long before any of this went public. The online narrative flipped instantly. From Erika might be hiding something to Erika's been protecting herself all along. Commenters began saying things like, "She probably saw this coming a mile away," and "Imagine grieving and someone keeps turning your pain into theories for clicks." As the dust started to settle, one thing was clear. The situation had officially spiraled out of control. What began as a few wild posts had become a full-scale scandal that blurred the line between truth, obsession, and delusion. Erika Kirk had become the unwilling center of a storm she never asked for, while Candace Owens kept insisting she was just seeking justice. But with every new post, every shocking claim, and every source she quoted, the credibility gap grew wider. People weren't just questioning her evidence anymore. They were questioning her stability, her motives, and her sense of reality. And somewhere in the middle of all this chaos stood Erika, quiet, determined, and more ready than ever to defend her husband's name, no matter how messy things got. Because now it wasn't just about setting the record straight, it was about reclaiming her peace. But did Candace stop there? Of course not. Just days after Charlie's funeral, she jumped right back online, claiming that Tyler Robinson, the man arrested, had been set up. She insisted he wasn't responsible for what happened and that the entire story was a cover-up. This came right after Erika gave a heartfelt speech about forgiveness at the funeral, saying she'd chosen to let go of hate. But Candace twisted it, saying Erika's words were part of a bigger plot. She even claimed Tyler's life was in danger and that the government was lying about everything except the gun. According to her, Tyler had never been at the scene, and the blurry viral photo wasn't even him. Then came the wildest part. Candace revealed she'd set up a dead man's switch, saying if anything ever happened to her, hidden files about Charlie's case would automatically leak. That statement alone sent the internet into meltdown. Fans were torn, some worried for her safety, others saying she'd finally gone too far. That's when Erika stepped in. Word spread fast that she was planning to release medical records, allegedly proving Candace had been diagnosed with a mental condition that might explain her paranoia. If true, it would crush Candace's credibility completely. Now, it's a full-on showdown. Erika dropping receipts, Candace firing accusations, and both claiming to hold the final card. Some say Erika's protecting her husband's legacy, others swear Candace is being silenced. Either way, this storm is far from over. So, what do you think? Is Candace onto something, or has she crossed the line for good? Drop your thoughts below, hit like, subscribe, share this video, and I'll see you on the next one.